Hey guys, and welcome back to another weekly fighting roundup. And in today's video, of course, got the boxing and MMA news. If you are new around here though and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, going to start off with the boxing as per usual. So, Garcia will fight Duarte December 2nd. Gwynn versus Marcel. Chapman and Noakes are set to fight December 2nd. Cesark will fight McCarthy November 4th. Mayweather, Thurman and Garcia are set to fight December 9th. Seems like Mayweather's going to be back out on another one of his exhibition fights for that card. Herring is set to fight Molina November 7th. Rankin has joined Queensbury. Davis is in talks to fight Barozas December 2nd. PBC are no longer going to be working with Showtime anymore. Parker has signed a long-term deal with Queensbury. Gonzalez will fight Zapata October 27th. Akmadalia vs Gonzalez has gone to purse bids. PBC has held talks to working with Amazon Prime, so that could be another big name joined into the boxing world. Sandoval will fight Ferreira November 9th. Artinstill will fight Bradford the 21st of October. Vargas will fight November 16th. Zhu will fight Biggs November 22nd. I'm quite excited for that fight, to be fair. That is a big domestic or Australian domestic fight. Dickinson is partnered with Forged Irish Stout. Crowley wants Barrios next. The winner of Fury vs Usyk has to now fight Hrgovic after, but it seems like there's going to be a rematch, so I mean, them saying it has to happen, it doesn't really mean anything. I don't think it's going to happen for a little while. Eubank Jr. is set to fight Ben December 23rd. That's going to be huge. I mean, I think that's also when Fury Usyk's also set to happen, so I could very highly, well, I'm going to very highly doubt that they're both going to be on the same night. Two huge fights, so probably won't be Eubank Ben if Fury Usyk is, but we'll have to wait and see. Fury Usyk has a rematch clause involved in it. Shiraz will fight Williams the 2nd of December. McCormack vs Dobson. Dickinson vs Dennis. McKenzie vs Davis. French vs Cooper. Vuong, Sains, Reese and Reese will fight November 11th. Good next gen card that. Glad to see Owen Reese on that, as well as I believe his brother on that as well. Of course, we had Owen on the channel a little while ago now. Conlon vs Gill, Adjiarco vs Williamson, McKenna vs Crocker, and McCone vs Maxwell fight December 2nd. I'm quite excited for the Conlon Gill fight. I'm a fan of Conlon. Obviously, it's not been going his way as of recent, but he, on his day, is an amazing boxer and a very technically gifted boxer. And I think Gill is quite a technically gifted boxer as well. And I think stylistic-wise, this makes for a good fighter. I think stylistic-wise, it favours Conlon more than some of the more recent fights he's been having, so it's going to be nice to see him possibly in a bit more of an actual technical boxing fight than just a fight where his chin's going to be tested the whole night. And Nue is set to fight Tapayes December 26th. McCann has joined Let's Go Management. Iglesias won via KO in round 4 vs Reese to remain IBO World Super Middleweight Champion. Got that one wrong. Fair play to Iglesias. Was a good stoppage from him. I mean, I thought Reese would be able to push him back a bit more. He dealt well with being pushed back. He did get pushed back a little bit in like the first and second round, but even then he fought well and fought back very well. And I don't know if it's he actually has his crazy power, because from the shots he's landing, it doesn't look overly powerful, but the way he's stopping opponents, fair play. I don't know if it's timing, if it's work rate, if it's actually just one punch KO power. I don't know, but it's working for the moment, so fair play to him. King won via points versus Grant. Itoma won via points versus Fados. Bork won via TK in round 4 versus Bega. Fail won via points versus Emilio. Franken won via points versus Davey. Abdullah won via stoppage in round 7 versus Leach. Zorro won via unanimous decision versus Ortenzi to remain WBO European Cruiserweight Champion. Two people on that card that we've interviewed. King, professional debut, very good stoppage, not stoppage, but very good performance. And Abdullah, very good performance, a very good stoppage from him as well. and of course Zorro keeping his belt impressively. Moving on, O'Mason won via points versus Smith. Cairns won via points versus Fat Hullen. Johnson won via points versus Thomas. Hayden won via points versus Hall. Nemhard won via points versus Mamedov. Hussein won via TK round 1 versus Singh. Cameron won via points versus Connor. Ali won via points versus Flores. Dolan won via unanimous decision versus Hopewell to remain Commonwealth Super Flyweight Champion. Good card, GBM card that was. I was glad to be at that one. Managed to interview a few people in that one. O'Mason, Ali, Dolan, Hayden, them four. It was a very good night. Dolan, very impressive victory, as amongst them others as well. And if you want to go check out them interviews, couple on my channel, couple on the Instagram of British Boxing TV, BBTV, so go check them out if you have not done so already. Thank you very much. So, Taijima won via KO in round 1 versus Kando. Nogami won via stoppage in round 4 versus Vayai. Biano won via TK in round 8 versus Hanada. Mandokoro won via split decision versus Yoshida. And Diaz drew versus Mendes. Shigeoka won via TKO in round 5 versus Valadares to become IBF World Minimum Weight Champion. I believe I got that one right. Very good performance there from Shigeoka. Was against a tough opponent in Valadares, who did make it tough at times, but he showed that he is by far the very more gifted boxer, and he has immense power as well, and he's going to be a very exciting one to watch moving on. Kameda won via split decision versus Lamini. Shigeoka won via unanimous decision versus Pradapsari to become WBC World Minimum Weight Champion, and for whatever reason there's not really too much. I couldn't find anything in the way of actually being able to watch that, but I know Shigeoka got the stoppage. The unanimous decision. But he also called out Collazo as well, so that could be a great fight. I personally do think the other Shigeoka is better, but to be able to beat somebody like Pradapsari is not an easy feat, and I predicted that wrong. I thought he wouldn't be able to do that, and so fair play to him for being able to do it, and still has great ability as well, and the fight versus Collazo would be a great fight, and hopefully it does happen next. And like I said, some great fights in the division around at the moment. I don't know if we'd ever see the two Shigeoka brothers fight each other though. Probably doubt that. Pomelu won via KO in round 3 versus Chulvidil. Vere won via unanimous decision versus Beluski. Hall won via unanimous decision versus Espinoza. Akadenis won via unanimous decision versus Bouchard to become WBC International Welterweight Champion. Bermudez won via split decision versus Clavel to remain IBF and WBO World Light Flyweight Champion. That was a very good fight. To be fair play to Bermudez. I feel like maybe to an extent I underestimated her. She was throwing a lot more than I thought she would. She was responding very well, but Clavel was also fighting very well as well. I wouldn't surprise me if we get a rematch. I wouldn't hate a rematch. I actually kind of would want a rematch because it was a good fight, that one, and Clavel thought she won. Bermudez, of course, thought she won, and so it makes for a good rematch, and hopefully we'll see it happen again. If not, then Clavel doesn't really have much other avenues to go down unless she does build herself up again for the second time, which I'm sure she's not going to want to do after having such a close defeat, such a narrow defeat versus Bermudez. But fair play to Bermudez. Like I said, I feel like I did underestimate it maybe a little bit in my prediction. I'll put my hands up and I'll admit that. Kawabsis won via TK in round 3 versus Akil. Zarzeni won via TK in round 2 versus Mayer. Lax won via unanimous decision versus Katsuk. Garcia won via unanimous decision versus Kazuria. Gardzliak won via majority decision versus Rivera. Wolodziak won via TK in round 7 versus Maldonado. Gerbs won via unanimous decision versus Levy to remain EBU European Super Bantamweight Champion. McNamara won via points versus Rodriguez. Vuong won via TK round 4 versus Gomez. Levars won via points versus Walker. Boston won via TK round 6 versus McCullough. Harper drew versus Brackhouse. Price won via TK round 12 versus Coghill. Conway won via TK round 6 versus Udofia to become WBA Intercontinental Middleweight Champion. Wood won via TK round 7 versus Warrington to remain WBA World Featherweight Champion and speak about that card. Vuong looked very good, looked like he has loads of potential. Levars, Bostan, Price all put on very good performances. I spoke to all of them on various different channels. I was there for Squared Circle Boxing. Got some interviews from the public workout there. Of course, if you want to go check them out, got some good ones, especially a good one with David Coulthard, which I would recommend watching if you get the chance. But like I said, all very good victories. Price especially, I was a fan of that victory. Udofi, I also spoke to, unfortunately about the loss for him, but Conway, to be fair, didn't look crazy impressive, but he managed to get a stoppage nonetheless, so fair play to him. But the main event, what a main event that was. I mean, you can never write out Leigh Wood. To be fair, he was losing the fight. He was losing the fight quite convincingly. I think he went in with the mindset that he had versus Lara, where he had to try and outbox and not get hit by one punch. But Warrington put on him, hit him with multiple punches, and I don't think Lara was really going to do that. I think Lara was always lining up that one punch, and that's why in the previous fight versus Lara, Wood wanted to be on the outside and not get hit with shots and use his jab, and that's what I think he went into that fight trying to do versus Warrington, and Warrington really stuck it on him and put the pressure on him and did what he had to do, and I think he was winning the fight convincingly. I just think he was just coming in a bit too wildly, a bit too recklessly, and I felt like that punch, or that combination of punches from Leigh Wood, was there quite often, and obviously it could have gone either way. I mean, Warrington hit Wood with some shots which definitely hurt Wood, and he looked like he was struggling himself, and so I could definitely be a fan to see a rematch. I think the Cordina fight would be a great fight versus Leigh Wood, because I think Cordina could put on that pressure and it'd be more technical and more smart pressure, and that could make it for a really close, good fight. So if we don't see the rematch versus Warrington, Wood Cordina possibly at the City Ground will be a huge fight as well. I don't know if Cordina would take it at the City Ground though, just because it is such a one-sided venue, but we'll have to wait and see. But it was a very good fight, and it's a great domestic fight, and I'm glad to see it happen, and fair play to Wood. Like I said, you can never write him out. Benitez won via unanimous decision versus Luna. Fulgham won via KO in round 1 versus Camper. Kalkrooth won via stoppage in round 5 versus Casper. Sanchez won via unanimous decision versus Tudor. Tony won via majority decision versus Brown. Melikuziev won via TK round 4 versus Fox to remain WBA's Continental Super Middleweight Champion. And Ramirez won via unanimous decision versus Smith Jr. That was a good fight as well. That was a very good fight, to be fair. A week, very good fights. Ramirez looked good, to be fair, in moving up into cruiserweight division, and his movement was good. He looked sharp from earlier on. He did get hits with shots. He wasn't overly fast, but his movement was good, and it was nice to see him moving around and not just trying to have an out-and-out war, because I think he would have lost that versus Smith, but I did just think he tired out a bit and let Smith get back into it. And Smith, fair play to him, he has that heart, he has that will, and he knows that he can go all the rounds, but Ramirez just did too much in the early rounds, and Smith was really struggling to hit him in the earlier rounds, so fair play to Ramirez. Did what he had to do and managed to get the victory. Moving on now to the MMA news. Allen is set to fight Evalaev January 20th. Algeo won via decision versus Hernandez. Dober won via KO in round 1 versus Glenn. Buckley won via decision versus Morono. Pfeiffer won via submission round 2 versus Razak Al Hassan. And Green won via KO in round 1 versus Dawson. Pretty good card, to be fair. The fights, some of the stoppages, the Dober stoppage was a good stoppage. The Pfeiffer stoppage was a good stoppage, and the Green stoppage was a very good stoppage. That was very much a underdog, just getting that one, maybe not lucky shot, but one shot, and that was all it needed to be. And fair play to him. He did what he had to do, and like I said, managed to get the one shot and did it early and got him out of there, and just like that. And it was a very impressive victory for him, and like I said, the one which nobody really expected. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like it if you did, like this, subscribe if you are new, and thanks for watching.